Hello, and how are you? We are back to the Pre-25 Mentorship Show. Are you aware that hostile stepdads are one of the biggest reasons boys end up in the streets? I have guys who work with children homes, rescue centers, and they tell me the leading reason you hear is my mother got married to a guy and the guy didn't like me, beat me up, was hostile to me, and I was pushed out. I had to go out and look for, and found myself in the street. Those mothers who are raising children on their own, many of them feel the financial pressure, they feel they're lonely, they feel like they're isolated, they feel like they want a sense of home, they feel like they want any kind of man to start life with, so they overlook how that man is towards the children. They end up in street, they end up marrying that guy, and the guy maybe doesn't like the boy and beats him up or ignores him or is hostile. Boy is pushed to the street. Today we have a story like that of a boy, pre-25 again, who that time he was pre-25. Right now he may have, remember we also want people who picked themselves up. You might be 30, but when they were 19 or 20, things went southeast because he also encouraged. You want us to tell us how you picked yourself. Can you imagine having been to the street and not knowing your biological father, having to look, and when you find him, you have to do DNA, you have to do things, looking for yourself. Huh? There are people who are looking for money. Others people are looking for greatness. They're looking for cars. There are people who are, can you imagine? Up and down, do you know my father? Who do I look like? Can you see? Looking for yourself, your identity, your roots. Sam Ambrose is here to share with us his story. Sam, thank you for coming, man.
Thank you for the invitation. So good to see you. Especially, most of the time, we learn from you from a distance. It's so amazing to actually have a feeling of you, one-on-one.
And you responded quickly. Yesterday I sent out a clarion call. I said, you want to share your story, Pre-25? Come here. You started by telling me you're not exactly Pre-25.
I am actually what I said is, you see, on the post you said you want people from Nairobi. And I was like, no, I'm not from Nairobi, but I want to make this happen.
How old are you?
Right now I'm 22.
The guy is actually Pre-25. So your exception was you are not within this area. I had not written there that you can actually travel, but this guy pushed. I like the guys who push boundaries and say, hey, I can come from Nakuru.
Yes.
All the way today. This guy. So, yeah. Sam Ambrose, what happened?
Well, it was a good environment to grow, especially when I was staying with my grandparents. Then later I had to move to Nakuru to stay with my mom and my father. So there's something I would like to make clear, especially when you're growing as a boy, as the firstborn especially. There's always the environment of trying to find yourself, testing different things. When you get some few coins on the table, you tend to think of a sweet you want to go and buy. Of course, there are those behaviors here and there that need some shaping.
You're right.
So because of this behavior of mine of picking things here and there, or, growing up and trying to fix myself in between society. And so I moved to Nakuru to stay with my parents. So this was about 2009. 2010 is when I'm staying with my two brothers and so my parents were really hardworking. My father was doing some Jengo work and different companies and there. My mom was, she has been working for the longest time in the flower farms. So you see, this was a complete family, but most of the time, even if they were working, maybe sometimes there was not enough food. The television we used to watch in the neighborhood, or you could tell the neighbor, just add the volume, So that was the environment. But I tell you, when it could come to, maybe I've committed a mistake, or maybe I got treated watching a movie outside, the war was more than the normal discipline that
punishment was a war.
The punishment was really, there was this big tool. It was like, you know what the Maasai use? Yeah, that one.
That whip.
Yeah. Then this was the joint, This one, it was like the weak point for the war. And actually, I tried to kill myself by 10. I used the belt. Luckily, my mom was outside, so she she had me making some noise. Then she came in.
Wow.
And that's the first.
You attempted to hang yourself with a belt at age 10.
Yeah, that was the first time.
How badly you were being punished.
Yes, the environment.
You are saying you were being beaten in the joints.
Yeah.
By that Maasai machete, that thing.
Yeah, that
the rungu. Yeah.
Yeah, the fimbo.
You're right.
The round one, yeah.
Oh.
So because of that, you know, I also wanted from a young age to experience freedom of choice. It's not something that I've started now. From then, I wanted to, you know, walk anytime I want, and most families, they can't take a kid who want to come anytime they want and something like that. So because of my behavior of growth and whatever that's, because the war was not only for me, also for my mom in one or the other, because he's also a drunk man in one or the other. So
he also used to beat up your mom?
Yeah, sometimes.
Wow.
So for me, by the time I'm age 11, I moved to the streets of Nakuru. I went to stay in the roundabout. For those who know Nakuru, Shabab. I used to sleep there. I know some ladies. I used to sleep in the kibanda where she cooks. Even today, I usually visit her sometimes. That's the place I was sleeping. Then, you know, selling metals, going to garage to pick metals was kind of my main business during the day. At night, sometimes. Of course, the streets, you have to be strong. You know, you have to, is a fitness kind of a survival place. So apart from that, I started growing my sales skills. Sometimes we could go to Nakuru town, get bananas from the market and sell them on the other side of the roadside. So that was kind of my street life. It was not an easy one. So by age 11, 12, I've already moved from home. And I'm in the street taking care of myself. Your mom is
not looking for you or anything?
She was. I want to say my mom, out of life, she tried her best. But I could run away. Because this environment is not accepting me. And also my behavior. I want to say my behavior also was not good enough to be accommodated.
You're right.
Yes. So because of this different... I have this behavior, I have this personality that is developing into something different. Although later I came to realize I'm a psychic, a clairvoyant, which was affecting me by the time I'm young. And because most parents, they don't understand the development of anyone. So they don't know which stage you are as a child.
You're right.
And they don't know which support they should be giving you at that time. I think that's what I lacked.
You said you came to realize you are what?
A psychic. It means I can be able to see things that are not on the physical stuff. Most of it was able to come clear when I was in high school. Although I stopped again practicing because some people started calling me a witch because I could tell them things where they are and something like that. Right. So I stayed in the street. Then, of course, we started terrorizing the city. Now that Nakuru is a city, so we could use barutis to store the women in the marketplace, and they could drop their stuffs and goods.
Then you pick them.
And we picked. That was our strategy. Although I didn't get into drugs, something like sniffing guru, I didn't get into very much bad group. Although some of my friends. You may never have friends who are like you, so some were in this environment. So later, after 1 year, a few months, the government decided to clear the city of Nakuru. You remember when some children, street children were taken to the forest?
Yeah.
So that's the time the government of Nakuru was trying to see how to get the kids off the street.
Oh, people are located?
Yes. So a lorry could come at night and pick all of us. And some of us were taken, like I remember spending a whole week in a cell of Nakuru Central without being taken to court. Because normally you are supposed to be taken to court, then you are taken to, there's a center in Nakuru for juvenile.
You're right.
Where you're supposed to, so I had to spend a 1 week there instead of being taken to court. Then now I was taken to juvenile. I was released after 1 week. I couldn't stay home. Went back to the street because this is the life that I've been able to get. The police are here again. My name is appearing again. So my mom, because she didn't have any other option, she accepted that I should be taken for rehabilitation or children prison. So the process is I stayed about 4 months in Nakuru. Then here in Nairobi, a place called Gedaduru at Rokabete.
Rehab center.
Yes.
Okay.
So at Gedaduru, which is a center at Rokabete, you stayed there for 4 months, 3 months to 4 months, depending on when you got there.
You're right.
Then they try to see what kind of. We have about 5 centers in Kenya, one in Mombasa. We have Wamomo, Likoni, we have Kericho. So for me, I was deposited in Kakamega. For people who are in Kakamega, the center is actually opposite the main gate of Masinde Muliro University.
Okay.
So that's the place I was there, and I think the government should improve those centers in terms of because I went there. I'm about 13 years. I left my primary school class 3, Nakuru West.
Yeah.
So that's the last class I've ever stepped in terms of primary education made by then.
You're right.
So this center, I did bakery and conversions. I did electrical grade 3, just simple house wiring.
You're right.
So in terms of academic education, it was kind of a joke. You know, you're just learning simple stuff. How to be able to just do simple things here and there. It was not kind of a good environment. So 2013 is when I'm coming home. So by the time I'm coming home 2013, I got my mom alone. Like she was staying alone now. And the man, my father, is not there. So I found my mom alone.
But was this man biological dad or stepdad?
No, by then I didn't know. So that's why I'm not mentioning the step. I mean, I didn't know that he was not my biological father by this stage. So I'm back, 2013. I don't know anything about staying with people. Girls, we used to see them on the window on the other side of those who are visiting us. Taking a shower, even if you stay 3 months, there's no problem. No one is going to ask you.
You're right.
We had only one short and a shirt, no sweater. So you wash this at night. In the morning, it should be clean. You are sharing a bed. So you're just living a life of, as far as you're breathing.
You're right.
So I'm back home to the society. I have no idea what it looks like to stay home, what it looks like to respect a parent, what it looks like to really follow a certain order. So I had to do my class 8 so that I can go to a polytechnic. That was the idea. So I tried to find out. Actually, I went personally to different schools to try to persuade them to give me a chance to get into class 8. Someone who left school, class 3.
You're right.
So Nakuru didn't work. So I came here to Dagoretti Corner here in Nairobi because this is a place where schools are all over.
You're right.
So I got a chance to join one school.
You were persistent. When you hear no's,
I'm not.
Came here.
Yeah, I don't stop at no's most of the time.
Wow.
So what happened is when I came here, I joined a school at Renana, that area, and I registered for my class 8. But remember now, I'm staying with a relative. My uncle was doing security by then.
You're right.
So the environment was also not conducive. Remember, I don't know how to respect. I don't know how to follow orders. I don't know anything about staying in a family setup. So I could wake up, go watch a movie the whole day, come in the evening. Maybe I'm late. My aunt, the door is already closed, so I can't get in. Sometimes I have to sleep outside. You know, food issues, sleeping down with the box, you know, and there's no maybe blanket. You have to, you know, that kind of an environment. So because I couldn't stay in the same environment and I couldn't get any kind of help, so what I decided is to run back to Nakuru. Of course, I had to go back to my mom because at least as...
Did you do the exam before you went?
No. This was before the year 2014 ends.
So fast forward, where did you end up doing the exam?
Nairobi. Remember, I have registered the exam.
But then you went to flee?
Yes, because of the environment.
Then you came back to do the exam?
Yes.
What happened after the exam?
So what happened after the exam is I got 212 marks.
Wow.
So my mom said, like, we are going to take you to a village school. If you get a D, I mean, it was an E. So if you get an E in Form 1, then you're going to go for a polytechnic.
Yeah.
So I think this messed up my school. Maybe I could have performed better because I went to school looking for an E. So Form 1, I didn't get the E. So I had to finish high school. So high school, again, I faced the challenge of development, connecting with people, because I was this person who is usually I'm from an environment where I'm taking care of myself. I'm not following orders. Now I'm in an environment that looks like a prison.
Correct.
I have to get in the morning, I have to follow orders, I have to stay in an environment that looks like the prison that I was in. So it was not a good environment for me to run, but I tried my best in high school. Started an high school magazine. Is kind of one of my dream to actually to have a magazine that is dedicated to teenagers. Then started to sell some few stuffs online. Okay. So by Form 4, which I finished by the grace of God, I got a D+. Wow. And now I told my mom, I don't have my best any of those papers because I never loved school. So I told my mom, I finished. Actually, I finished my last paper, and that's the day I moved from the prot. And just went outside to stay with few of my friends, and later things happen, and you have to get yourself together. So that's how I was able to come through that process. Well, I'd wanted to go to college and maybe do some few trainings, which didn't happen. So for me, the best way was self-education. So what a magic thing that happened to me is that by Form 2, I met someone who was just staying inside the house with a computer. His name is Steve. So this guy I could get from school. Then after school, he could send me a few things like nyanya, chicken, or anything he wishes to do that day, or to send me for shopping. Even if he wanted a laptop or a phone from the market.
You ran errands for him?
Yeah. That was basically my work, get paid here and there. And this guy could listen to people like Jim Brown, Les Brown. I fall in love with Les Brown. I started listening to Les Brown by Form 2. New people like Zig Ziglar, Dr. Wayne there. And these messages started planting seeds in my mind. Because this guy was smart. He was at Tigerton University, but he had to drop and focus on his business, forex trading and such. So that's why I started listening to these ideas. So, because I didn't have a phone, what I did, I started printing these books into PDFs. I do have those copies in my house right now. Because I couldn't manage to buy a book, what I did is to actually print back to back so that the cost can be at least reduced. And that's why I started reading these books. And my first book was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I don't know, one of the main topic on that book is on school will not make you rich. You're right. So from there, I chose that I want to be a marketer. Because...
A marketer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of my skills is speaking, representing, persuading, and having people to take action.
That's right.
So when that happened, network marketing, a lot of young people tend to fall into network marketing stuff, bring 600, then bring your mother and your social, and such kind of a scheme. It works for some, it doesn't work for some. So I'm one of the people who network marketing didn't work for. So joined different companies here and there, I failed. Then from there, I told my father, now my biological dad, I met him in between the years. And I said, now, I want to get help to get a laptop. So it wasn't easy for me to get a laptop. I got a small laptop, which couldn't do a lot of the stuff. So the next thing I did is, there's a formula I use in terms of making money, is with the one person, an entrepreneur, a coach, an author, who has a problem that I can solve to get paid this money. Wow. Like who do I give this value to get some kind of money? That's what I started to do. And I got my first client after watching a YouTube video. That's what happened. Because one of the skills that I decided to master, or the first one, was Facebook advertising, how to get customers using paid advertising. And my idea was real estate, again, to work with real estate people which after some time of working with a few people in real estate, I realized this is not exactly what I want.
Let me capture the skills so that somebody else in your position can follow. This guy loved learning, all right?
Yes.
You liked learning and you could hear somebody else playing a good content and you notice it.
Yeah.
You even print the book and start devouring the material. So what you're feeding your mind matters more than what is happening at home. This guy was coming from the worst background ever, but he was not mentally closed in. He was mentally learning. And another thing is relentless. You had so many novels again. I think he loved learning. He's teachable. If you are egotistical and all your time you're using is betting, you know, men waste their time to video.
Yeah.
And you made some money.
Yeah.
What are you doing? How are you using your bundles? Some people are looking for Wi-Fi just to chatting girls, texting hi. And there goes those guys just text HI. And I told women never to reply to those idiots. You have nothing to tell to a woman. She don't come to type hi. Who should be carrying an agenda? When you come to a lady, at least start a conversation. Hey, good morning. My name is George and I'm looking for... yeah. Talk! How do you tell a lady hi as if she should pick up the conversation? At least say hi, good morning. How are you? You know, so I like what was driving you. You looked like you were restless. So you told that, buy me a laptop. After I got the laptop, you were able to get a client. Move me fast forward. I want to see where you are today. What are you doing? We have seen how everything was against you in the background. But where are you today?
Today, matter of development and growth and impact. Because before maybe I come to where I am right now, there's something I want to mention in terms of my curve.
Yeah, right.
Because this is something I try to speak to young people who reach out to me in terms of how can I make money online like you?
You're right.
This is the challenge I usually give them. So after high school, I had a phone. So I had to wake up at 6, like a student, get to Egerton University to use the university Wi-Fi, to download videos from YouTube on sales and marketing so that I can go and watch later in the house.
Wow.
Every morning. So I got some few cash, bought a memory card.
Wow.
So that I can download more content and reduce the thing of getting every day to the university because I had to go around the security officers here and there. That's one of my struggle to get the knowledge anyway. So right now, to a place I am, of course, is something that has helped me. And I call it the millionaire shortcut. If as a young person you want to get where you want to go as fast as you can, get someone who is already there.
You're right.
So mentors have been able to help me to be where I am today. And the formula I used to get to my mentors, I decided to work with coaches, trainers, and others because those are the people I needed, but I didn't get them because they didn't know how to get to me.
You're right.
So what happened in this area is that if I want to learn something from somebody, I usually ask myself, what can I do to this person to be able to tap into their time because I cannot pay for their time.
You're right, you're right. You're right.
So I got my first mentor in terms of copywriting in Nigeria, called Ortega, Ogomigo. Then I want to say thank you to a company called Destiny Life Coaching. It trains coaches.
Wow.
This was the first person to give me a chance to actually practice all the skills I've been teaching myself. Remember, I don't have a university certificate to show that I really know this skill.
You're right, you're right.
So after practicing and giving results, then I was enrolled in the course. So I'm a certified life coach.
Wow. Where is Destiny? Is it Kenya?
Yes, it is Kenya. They have the office at Moringa.
So they're called Destiny Life Coaching?
Destiny Life Coaching by Israel Jeff Ndiwa.
Okay.
So is the master coach so is the person who was able to help me actually heal my past, go past my fears and the place I'm coming from.
You're right.
And I developed this person that I am today in terms of making decisions.
You're right.
And to this day, the marketing skills that I know, even the first call I've ever called you, it was like, hey, I'm really getting so much value from what you do online. Can I build you one funnel for free?
You're
because
right.
this one is going to help you reach more young people as fast as possible.
You're right.
And that's what I do.
You're right.
I give value to people who give value in one and the other, in one or the other way.
You're right.
Then I get paid for
Let's use that to warn those boys who are looking for rich women. To sell your body. This guy is giving value. When he contacted me, he wanted to help me advance my message. Because he said, I'm already learning from you, let me contribute. Can you build the skills and contribute and stop looking for to sell lust? fornication and debauchery. How long can you maintain that? There will come another guy who's better at gym and beat you at it. This guy has taken the years to build a real skill that he can sell through the world. Man, can we wake up? Have you seen how lazy men are? They sleep the whole day. Young men are sleeping the whole day, sniffing cigars, sniffing drugs, wasting their time. This guy is proving that you can rise from nothing, even without the privilege of accessing university. Maybe by coming to the university and downloading videos, he was learning as much, if not more, than those who are already inside. As we wind up, where you are today, you're saying you are a certified life coach.
Yes.
What do you do on a day-to-day basis?
So what I do is, number one, I wake up at 3. So what I do at 3 is any tech related work. If there's a funnel I'm supposed to create for my client or a website I'm supposed to do, anything that need more focus, I do it from 3 to around 5. Then 5 to 6, I do study. Like I was studying 5 Days to Financial Freedom by Bob Proctor. That's the program I'm doing right now. Every month I'm doing a different program from top leaders. So by 6, I sleep for about 1 hour or 2.
You're right.
I get up at 8.
You're right.
Because my clients, most of them, if I have a coaching call, I do it in the evening.
You're right.
So after 8 a.m., I wake up, do my coffee. I only take coffee, go for a walk.
Wow.
Like I call it in Swahili round moja mwenda. So I go for the longest walk for 1 hour or take a bike for my physical exercise.
You're right.
Come back, take a shower, be on my desk, work for about, what I do from then is more on lead generation,
right.
Reaching out new businesses that I can help, writing cold emails, asking for referrals from people that are, if I had a webinar,
you're right.
A webinar, maybe I'm doing a free training to, that's education-based marketing.
You're right.
Then that's what I would do during the day. Then at 2 p.m., I sleep for about 1 hour or 2. Wake up at least by 3 or 4. Then from there, most of the time I have clients that are waiting for a call.
You're right.
Then, or a demo or a demonstration I'm supposed to do to a client or make a call. Most of my meetings with potential clients, I schedule them at the evening. It's actually sometimes when they are available.
You're right.
So that's how I learn my day.
Wow.
Then I love the freedom that I have. In case I'm needed somewhere, I can always stop whatever I'm doing to ensure that I get to that place. Do
you talk to small companies? Can you motivate a small group of guys who have 10 employees? Do you do those kind of talks?
Yes, I had a privilege to talk to them, to different companies that have been engaged in terms of marketing, and how do they get customers in.
You're right.
But I think more of what I wish to do is to go back to teenagers, because there is where we are losing ourselves.
Right.
We are not getting the background, because we don't know that if someone hates me, it's their responsibility.
Right.
It's not my responsibility.
You're right.
If my parents don't accept me, it is their responsibility and not my responsibility.
You are right.
If a girl rejects me, like the other day I felt crying at night because Achuka University ready just killed herself because her boyfriend said no.
Imagine.
And I was like, we have not been trained to deal with rejection.
Right.
Because most of, like, I remember one of my grandfather from some time, he refused me to go and stay that in Moro because he feared I could steal the condos there.
Yeah.
You see?
You're right.
We are facing rejection as young people. Especially right now, we have a generation of single-laced.
So you can talk to schools?
Yes.
High schools, primary schools, academies, you'll be happy to speak to them.
Yes.
If people want to reach you, tell them social media, how can they contact you?
I think the best way is to Sam Ambrose. That's my Facebook, both the page and the account. The best way is also my website, samambrose.com/funnels.
You're right.
It's one of the best ways to actually book a call with me.
You're right.
And also Mest Digital Media. Of course, as we are growing up as young people, I think the best way is to connect yourself with people who are in a mission.
That's
where
right.
you're going. Even if you are in the university, connect with someone who's doing what you're studying.
That's right.
When you have time, work for free. Actually, I've worked for free more than I've worked to be paid.
finally, what's your stand about relationships? Your age group has been in relationships, making girls pregnant, others killing themselves like that girl. What has been your stand?
I think, like everyone else, at a point, I messed up, or at a point I tried to, it's a human need.
You're right.
To want to be loved,
You're right.
to want to associate and be in this connection.
That's true.
And what I didn't know is I thought love is outside myself. So I tried relationship here and there, but it didn't work. So a lot of things here and there. But again, something that has helped me is to have something to do.
You're right.
Then also to develop good relationship with ladies that are around me,
That's
so
true.
that I'm also learning and developing from them.
That's
And actually, my father is also a strong man. He ensures that I don't do any. Actually, he reminds me every now and then, focus on yourself, focus on yourself. Forget about ladies, they're going to come. Actually, you usually say this one thing: women follow a successful man.
That's true.
So you better be successful first.
You're right.
I think that's what keeps me up. Like, to get the best, you have to become the best.
That's right.
So that's one of the things that drives me actually to do that.
And guys, I have not seen a story as amazing, courageous as this guy. Picked himself up from the street, rejection, beatings. What excuse do you have? This guy has been moved through rehab centers. This guy picked himself. He will do everything he can to get videos to learn. Hey, if you don't know who is the next sensation, which generation is changing, Sam Ambrose is among them. Check him out. Call him to your school. There are many guys who are wanting to call me to school, and maybe I'm not available to all of you. But hey, we have options. This guy will reach them well. He will talk to your group. And I want to tell you the truth.